In the quiet, desolate chambers of their heart, your person has been dwelling in a profound and unyielding sadness. This sorrow, a heavy shroud woven from the threads of absence, has settled upon them with an intensity they never anticipated, particularly in the wake of these past few months, a period marked by an agonizing, prolonged silence between the two of you. Each passing day without your presence has been a stark, relentless reminder of a truth that has slowly, painfully, etched itself into their very soul. Their actions, in the time you shared, were not merely thoughtless, but profoundly, unforgivably selfish. They have come to grasp, with a clarity that cuts like glass, how their self-centeredness meticulously crafted a connection that was fundamentally one-sided, leaving you, the very heart of their world, feeling utterly neglected, unseen, and, most cruelly, unloved. This chasm of separation, stretching wider with every sunrise, has not been a void of emptiness but rather a crucible of agonizing reflection. Within its searing heat, they have been forced to confront the unvarnished truth of their past behavior, a truth that has revealed, with brutal honesty, the sheer magnitude of the emotional distress they so carelessly inflicted upon you. It is a realization that has brought them to their knees, metaphorically speaking, as they replay countless moments in their mind, each one a fresh stab of regret. They now understand, with an unbearable weight of remorse, that their transgressions went far beyond simply ignoring your needs and feelings. They left you adrift, abandoned, cast out into an emotional wilderness, exposed to the biting winds of indifference. The significant emotional pain they caused you, once perhaps a distant echo, now reverberates through every fiber of their being, a constant, tormenting symphony of what-ifs and if-onlys. The very air they breathe feels thick with the suffocating weight of their guilt. It is not a fleeting pang, but an overwhelming, pervasive force that consumes their waking hours and haunts their dreams. This period of intense introspection has forced them to confront, head-on, the true gravity of their mistakes. The knowledge that their actions led directly to your suffering, that they were the architects of your pain, is a burden almost too heavy to bear. It is a haunting awareness, a relentless shadow that clings to them, reminding them of the beautiful, fragile thing they shattered. In the stark, unforgiving light of hindsight, they can now see, with excruciating clarity, how utterly they failed to truly appreciate the boundless depth of your love, the unwavering sincerity of your affection. Your devotion, once a comforting backdrop to their self-absorbed existence, now stands out in vivid, painful relief, a testament to a generosity they so tragically undervalued. This realization has been nothing short of a harsh awakening, a seismic shift in their perception of themselves and their past. It has compelled them to acknowledge, without equivocation, the profound selfishness and thoughtlessness that so shamefully characterized their every behavior towards you. Among the myriad of painful insights, one particular truth strikes them with a force that is almost breathtaking, the truly unique and utterly captivating energy that emanates from you. It is not merely your physical attractiveness, though that too holds a certain undeniable allure, but something far more profound, something that transcends the superficial. There is a luminous quality to your spirit, a rare and precious light that draws attention not through overt display, but through its sheer, intrinsic beauty. They recall, with a poignant ache, the exquisite softness that defines your essence, a nurturing quality that radiates from your very core. This gentle, caring nature, they now understand, was what made you stand out so profoundly in a world that often feels relentlessly harsh, indifferent, and cynical. In a landscape of sharp edges and cold facades, you were a warm, inviting haven. Your person now sees, with the clarity of true understanding, that these qualities are not just rare, but truly precious, a treasure they, in their blindness, so foolishly took for granted. The regret for this oversight is a bitter taste in their mouth, a constant reminder of their past folly. A deep, burning embarrassment now washes over them when they reflect on their past actions. The way they treated you, the casual disregard with which they ignored your most fundamental needs and desires, while you, with an open heart, poured your very soul into the relationship, it all seems utterly inexcusable, a betrayal of the purest trust. They recall, with a fresh wave of shame, how you gave them your full, undivided attention and affection, a level of devotion that surpassed anything you offered to anyone or anything else in your life. Your love was a sacred offering, freely given, without reservation. Yet, instead of reciprocating that love, instead of cherishing and appreciating the profound gift you presented, they allowed their ego, that insidious whisper of self-importance, and their pride, that rigid armor of self-preservation, to dictate their every action. This led them down a path of emotional manipulation, making you feel, despite your boundless giving, both jealous and insecure. The irony, the cruelty of it, now pierces them deeply. The separation, this agonizing period of distance, has served as a brutal, yet ultimately necessary, wake-up call. It has jolted them from their complacent slumber, forcing them to confront the stark reality of what they have lost. They miss everything about you, with an aching, visceral longing that permeates their every thought. They miss the warmth of your presence, that comforting aura that made the world feel a little less cold. They miss the soothing balm of your words, the gentle cadence of your voice that could calm the storm within them. Most profoundly, they miss the way you made them feel loved and valued, a feeling they now realize was a unique and irreplaceable gift. The profound truth in this saying, that we only truly realize the value of something or someone when it is gone or taken away from us, has become their painful, undeniable reality. This adage, once a mere platitude, now resonates with a crushing weight, a testament to their own short-sightedness. They are consumed, utterly consumed, by thoughts of what they once had, the beautiful tapestry they wove together, and what they so carelessly lost, all because of their own misguided actions and deeply flawed attitudes. Their current state of mind is one of profound, almost relentless, contemplation. They spend countless hours lost in reflection, their thoughts spiraling back to the past, revisiting every shared moment, every quiet glance, every word exchanged. They dwell on the love you offered, so freely, so unconditionally, a love they now understand was a beacon in their often turbulent life. They are tormented, truly tormented, by the stark realization that their ego and pride, those two destructive forces, were the primary architects of the downfall of something truly beautiful, something rare and precious. They grasp, with a newfound clarity, that their desperate, misguided need to feel superior, to always be in control, was not only erroneous but ultimately destructive to the very fabric of your connection. This raw, unvarnished acknowledgement of their own destructive patterns fills them with a profound, almost unbearable sense of shame and regret. In the depths of their reflections, another truth has emerged, one that deepens their remorse, the extraordinary depth of your patience and the boundless extent of your love. You stood by them, unwavering, offering your unwavering support and affection even when, in their darkest moments, they knew they did not deserve it. This realization makes their already acute guilt even more piercing, more unbearable. They are ashamed, deeply ashamed, of the way they allowed their insecurities to manifest, making you feel jealous and insecure, when all the while you were giving them your absolute all, unconditionally and selflessly. Your unwavering devotion, contrasted with their own self-serving actions, is a constant source of their current anguish. Your person now stands at a crossroads, a pivotal moment in their journey. They are filled with an overwhelming, almost desperate longing to make amends, to somehow right the wrongs of the past, and an intense, burning desire to rekindle what was so tragically lost. They yearn, with every fiber of their being, for the chance to show you, not just with words but with tangible actions, that they have undergone a profound transformation, that they have changed in fundamental ways. They now understand, with a clarity that was once elusive, the true, immeasurable value of your love and affection. They want nothing more than to prove to you that they can, indeed, be the partner you truly deserve, one who not only appreciates your boundless love but actively, joyfully reciprocates it, fully and without reservation. This entire period of separation and agonizing reflection has been nothing short of transformative for them, a crucible in which their old self has been painfully, but necessarily, refined. They are determined, with a fierce resolve, to overcome the shackles of their ego and pride, to consciously let go of the destructive behaviors that ultimately led to your painful separation. They cling to the fragile hope that, in time, perhaps you might find it within your heart to forgive them, to grant them another chance, a chance to truly show you how much they have grown, how deeply they have changed, and how profoundly they now cherish you. It is impossible for you to truly fathom the extent of the effort, the sheer, exhausting exertion they had to put in from an early age just to be likable, to simply fit in with those around them. From the tenderest years of their life, a stark and often brutal realization dawned upon them: being accepted by others, truly belonging, required far more than just being themselves. It demanded a constant, relentless performance. They had to meticulously mold themselves to the expectations of others, constantly adjusting their behavior, their burgeoning interests, and even their physical appearance to precisely match what they believed would make them more likable, more palatable to the world. This insidious pressure to conform, to become the best possible version of what others wanted them to be, was not merely immense, it was relentless, an unceasing demand on their very being. Every social interaction felt like an arduous test, a high-stakes examination with the looming, ever-present fear of rejection if they didn't meet the unspoken, often arbitrary, standards set by their peers. The crushing weight of this pressure was compounded, made even more unbearable, by the stark, isolating realization that, in the end, the only person they could truly, unequivocally rely on was themselves. Friends and acquaintances, while offering fleeting moments of support or camaraderie, often proved to be conditional, their loyalty shifting with the winds of popularity or convenience. This harsh, unforgiving truth led them to a profound, albeit ultimately misguided, decision: their primary, unwavering focus had to be on themselves. They believed, with a fervent conviction, that if they could only perfect themselves according to the exacting, often cruel, norms of society, they could finally achieve the elusive acceptance and the much-craved stability they so desperately yearned for. However, as they devoted more and more attention to this relentless pursuit of self-perfection, a darker, more insidious side of this endeavor began to reveal itself. The world's inherent harshness, the constant, exhausting need to fit in, and the relentless pressures to excel in every conceivable aspect of life became overwhelming, a suffocating weight that threatened to crush their spirit. They soon found themselves in desperate need of an escape from this suffocating reality, a momentary reprieve from the relentless demands of their self-imposed performance. It was then that they turned to various pleasures, seeking them out as a form of relief, a way to momentarily forget the unyielding pressures that defined their existence. Initially, these indulgences seemed harmless enough, a benign way to unwind, to decompress, to find some fleeting semblance of happiness. But gradually, almost imperceptibly, these pleasures morphed into something far more significant than just a temporary escape. They evolved, with a terrifying inevitability, into deeply ingrained, habitual patterns that they found increasingly, frighteningly difficult to break free from. These habits, initially perceived as minor indulgences, slowly but surely transformed into full-blown addictions, insidious chains that bound them tighter with each passing day. They became an integral, almost indispensable, part of their daily routine, a crutch they leaned on, a psychological and emotional support system they relied upon to simply get through the day. A part of them was acutely aware that these habits were not healthy, that they were detrimental to their well-being, yet the immediate, intoxicating comfort they provided made it almost impossible to let them go. Unfortunately, these addictions, once mere diversions, stayed with them, becoming a significant, defining part of their very identity. They reached a point where they genuinely could not imagine their life without them, even though, deep down, they knew these habits were slowly, surely, eroding their well-being. Amidst this internal turmoil, this labyrinth of self-imposed pressures and unhealthy coping mechanisms, they encountered you. From the very first moment their eyes met yours, there was something undeniably different about you, something that immediately captured their attention, pulling them out of their self-absorbed world. Unlike them, you didn't seem to be burdened by the weight of bad habits or the insidious grip of addictions. You lived in a way that was refreshingly natural, effortlessly organic, a stark contrast to their own meticulously constructed existence. You didn't ask for anything unusual, didn't make demands that felt uncomfortable or manipulative. Your very presence was a calming balm, a soothing antidote to the chaos within them. You stood out, vividly, from the countless others they had encountered, who often seemed consumed by superficial pursuits and trivial desires. You, on the other hand, seemed to exist in your own serene world, focused and busy, yet radiating a profound sense of peace and beauty in your sheer, unadulterated authenticity. This stark, almost jarring contrast between you and the other women they had known was striking, a revelation. They often seemed consumed by frivolous desires, their behaviors erratic and unpredictable, driven by external validation. But you were profoundly different. Your groundedness, your unwavering self-assuredness, made you incredibly appealing, a beacon of stability in their tumultuous life. You were like a breath of fresh air, invigorating and pure, in a life that had become suffocatingly routine, painfully predictable, and devoid of genuine connection. Your authenticity, that luminous quality of simply being yourself, highlighted, with brutal clarity, the artificiality of their own existence, making them acutely aware of the glaring discrepancies and deep-seated flaws in their life. Being around you, experiencing your genuine presence, made them realize, for the first time in a long, long while, that something was profoundly, fundamentally wrong with the way they were living. The addictions and bad habits they had relied on for so long, those flimsy crutches they used to cope with life's relentless pressures, were not solutions, they were merely symptoms of a much deeper, more pervasive issue. Your natural, effortless way of living, your inherent grace, exposed the deep-seated flaws in their own approach to life, stripping away the illusions they had carefully constructed. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, they questioned the path they had taken, the choices they had made, and the very person they had become. Your influence was subtle, almost imperceptible, yet undeniably powerful, a quiet force that gently nudged them towards self-reckoning. It compelled them to reflect deeply on their past choices and the meticulously constructed life they had built, brick by painful brick. They began to see, with a dawning clarity, that their relentless pursuit of external acceptance and the consequent, unhealthy habits they had formed were not leading them to true happiness or genuine fulfillment. Instead, they were trapping them in a suffocating cycle of dependence and profound dissatisfaction. Your presence, your mere being, was a catalyst for this transformative realization, a pure and unblemished mirror reflecting back the authentic life they yearned for, but had been too afraid, too conditioned, to pursue. Now, your partner stands before a new dawn, their heart ablaze with a singular, unwavering truth: they don't just want to be friends. This time, their intentions are serious, their desire for commitment absolute. They have come to a profound realization that what they feel for you transcends the conventional boundaries of friendship. It is a love far deeper, far more encompassing, a force that demands a permanent place in their life. They are determined, with every fiber of their being, to show you just how committed they are to building a future together, a future where you are at the very center. This time, they refuse to take their eyes off you, to allow any distraction to pull them away from your light. Every single moment they spend away from you is now filled with an aching sense of longing, a deep-seated, almost unbearable desire to be by your side, to feel your presence, to share your world. The mere thought of seeing you with someone else, of another person experiencing the warmth and joy of your company is utterly unbearable to them, a searing pain that intensifies their resolve to be the one who stands by you, unwavering and true. You occupy their thoughts more than anything else, a constant, beautiful presence in the landscape of their mind. The time apart, though agonizing, has made them miss you immensely, and this longing has only grown stronger, more potent, with each passing day. They are eager, almost desperate, to reach out, to bridge the distance that has, for far too long, come between you. In the quiet, solitary moments of their contemplation, a painful but necessary truth has emerged: just how much their past trauma, those unhealed wounds of their own journey, has affected their ability to be stable, to be truly present, in love. This realization has been a painful but absolutely essential step in their arduous journey towards healing and profound self-improvement.